All right, on this first video for 8.3, it's going to be an extension of the distributive property, but you can see right here, if I multiply two binomials, okay, last one I only had a monomial or one term on the outside of the parentheses, but now when I multiply two binomials, I'm going to use the distributive property twice. Okay, and then this method, I'm not going to explain it in this video, but I'll explain it in class. It's also called the FOIL method. When you multiply two binomials, the F, O, I, and L are going to stand for something, but we'll go over that in class. Okay, if I do, I'm going to do number one. Now, if you multiply the two quantities x plus 1 times the quantity of x plus 2, what this really means is it's almost like saying I'm going to distribute x to this x plus 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of like disregard the 1, and I'm just going to distribute x to the x plus 2. So if I distribute there, I'm going to have x times that x. Okay, I'm going to do x times x. I know x times x gives me x squared. Then I'm going to do x times that 2. Well, x times 2 is positive 2x. I'm just going to bring this down, positive 2x. Alright, now I'm going to kind of cross this out. I already distributed this x. Then I have to distribute a second time. I'm going to distribute 1 to this x plus 2. So if I do that, I'm going to have 1 times this x. Well, 1 times x is just positive x. And then I'm going to distribute 1 to this 2. Well, 1 times that 2 is just positive 2. So I'm just going to bring those down. So you can see I get 4 terms after I multiply the two binomials. And the 4 terms, they're going to stand for that F, O, I, and L. Now, if you look, I'm not done. I do have like terms in the middle. 2x plus x gives me 3x. So we end up with x squared plus 3x plus 2. So really, you're kind of doing the same thing. You're distributing and you're combining your like terms. It just looks a little bit different because you haven't multiplied two binomials at all. But you just used the distributive property twice. Okay, I'm going to skip to number 3. This will be the last one I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this 2x to this x plus 2. So I'm going to put this arrow. So let's see here. 2x times that x gives me 2x squared. Then I have 2x times this 2. Well, 2x times 2 gives me positive 4x. And I'm going to bring that down plus 4x. Then I'm done distributing the 2x. So I cross that out. Then I'm going to distribute 1 to the x plus 2. I'm going to distribute this 1 to this x plus 2. So 1 times that x is just 1x, or just positive x. And then 1 times this 2, well, 1 times 2 is positive 2. And then I'm going to bring down the plus x and the plus 2. And very similar to number 1, you're going to see this is going to happen a lot. You always see a lot of patterns when doing math problems. The two middle terms, these are the only like terms. I can combine those. 4x plus x is 5x. So we end up with 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. Alright, so you're just using the distributive property twice, and then you combine the like terms. And you can see both of these, we ended up with trinomials. You don't always end up with trinomials, but most cases you do. Tomorrow, we're going to tie what this F, O, I, and L stand for when multiplying two binomials.